It's a regional final tonight. The renewal of old foes as the Utica Eisenhower Eagles come in to take on the Lake Orion Dragons. We've got it all for you here on the MHSAA Network, Orion Neighborhood Television, and Dragon Broadcasting. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss along with Chris Fritching. The gales of November have come early. It is a frigid night. And last week, the Dragons came away with really, they consider a fortunate win over Stony Creek. And what stood out is all season long, after averaging 43 plus points a game, they found out that they could give up the time of possession battle and win with their defense.
Oh, did they ever? And then we talk about time of possession battle. The score was 21-7 at halftime. Obviously, the game final was 21-14. Stony Creek had 299 yards of total offense to Lake Orion's 289. But talk about, that's where it was similar, right? It was not similar in terms of total plays. Stony Creek had 76 plays to Lake Orion's 25. And Stony Creek had the ball 38 minutes and 58 seconds compared to Lake Orion's 9 minutes and 2 seconds. So Lake Orion's defense was on the field over 81% of the game time. And for them to only give up 14 points in that during that game was pretty remarkable. And so they're going to need that. The defense obviously stepped up big. Obviously the offense stepped up when they needed to, as fast as they did. Some big plays by Manzo. 3 touchdowns, one of 76, one of 46, and one of 34. But the defense stepped up and played big. They're going to need that type of effort tonight. They just hopefully aren't on the field as long as they were last week.
Utica Eisenhower came in after a shutout over Rochester Adams last week. And you know, these two teams are a lot alike. From the head coaches down to their philosophies. Both coaches, Coach Blackstock and Coach Smith, replaced legends, Bob Lancey at Eisenhower, Chris Bell here at Lake Orion. And both teams don't need to score a lot of points. They have, but they can also shut you down with defense.
Yeah, Eisenhower comes in only giving up 12.7 points per game. They've only given up 34 points total in the last 4 games. They have 2 shutouts on this season alone. On the flip side, their offense averages 27.3 points a game, so they can do a little bit of both. They can score and they can defend the score, obviously. And they play, obviously, in a very, very tough conference in the MAC Red. Dakota, Chippewa Valley, Sterling Heights, Stevenson, Romeo, Anchor Bay, and those are tough teams, and we always talk about the OAA Red being one of the toughest divisions in the state. Certainly what they play in is very tough as well. They've lost 2 games. They lost the very first game of the season against Brother Rice, 7-0, and they lost to the defending state champions, Chippewa Valley, in the 3rd game of the season. So they're coming in having won 7 games in a row. They are on a roll, and they're playing like they're on a roll. It's going to be a great game tonight.
After last week with my predictions, I remember the words of Lincoln, who said it's better to keep your mouth shut and be thought a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. You could also call it, oh, how the mighty have fallen, because you look who went down, a lot of the number 1 seeds. Chip Valley, Oak Park, North Farmington, Rockford, all these were expected to be final teams. There's still a couple favorites left out there, but it's still wide open.
Yeah, it's still wide open. That's why, you know, the so-called experts, that's why they're called so-called, because they're not really the experts. You know, I went through the Division I bracket, and I did my picks, if you will. I was 8-8, and usually, out of the 16 games, usually those first-round games are supposed to be the easiest to pick. And it wasn't the case last week. You're right, Rockford losing. On the other side of the state, Granville lost, Traverse City West lost in Division I, and obviously Chip Valley, as you mentioned. So it's wide open, and are there any favorites? Not nowadays. You know, favorites, just like they say in the NFL, any given Sunday something can happen. Guess what? This is Friday night, so any given Friday anything can happen.
Should be a great game tonight. Two old foes meet again in the playoffs. Stay with us.
The best way to connect with the MHSAA.
Dashing through the snow on Sunday, December 15th for Orion Township's third annual Snow Dash 5K. Check-in begins at 7:30 a.m. at the Orion Center with the race slated to begin at 9 a.m. sharp. The path takes participants onto the scenic Pollyant Trail to the Civic Center before circling back to the finish line at the Orion Center, where medals will be handed out to all participants. For more information, call 248-391-0304, extension 3500, or visit orionparks.com to register.
Just before kickoff, Lake Orion Dragons taking on the Utica Eisenhower Eagles. Utica Eisenhower is coached by head coach Chris Smith. He's in his 6th year, 49-17 overall. He's 7-5 in the playoffs. This year, Eisenhower was 7-2. They beat Adams 24-0, as we talked about earlier last week in round 1. This series actually goes back to 1976. The Dragons played Eisenhower in 77 and 78, and Eisenhower won all 3 of those meetings. In the playoffs, these teams have met 5 times. Lake Orion leads the playoff series. They first met in 1988, also in 2001, 2008, 2010, and 2012. Chris, we'll get to your keys to the game after the open kickoff. Ross has it teed up. Back deep for Eisenhower is number 3, Sefcovic, and number 4, Steve Nadolski. Low kick, hits around the 20, picked up over the 15 to the 20, where Eisenhower take over 1st and 10. Chris, your keys to the game.
Yeah, number 1, I'm going to be a little superstitious because I've said it the last couple weeks, but start early, start fast. Last 5 games, Lake Orion has averaged 31.6 points in the first half. It puts a tremendous amount of stress on an opponent when a team starts like this. Number 2, we might be leading into the season no extra possessions for Ike. Don't turn the ball over like they did last week against Stony Creek. And then number 3, the weather. It's going to play a factor in some way, shape, or form with it being only 28 degrees at the start of the game.
And we start off with a encroachment penalty against the Dragons. That'll move it up 5. It'll be 1st and 5 for Eisenhower on their own 26-yard line. Two wide receivers. Throw far side, complete over the 40-yard line to
number 19, Ethan Barker.
19.
He's at game last week against Rochester Adams. Only 2 catches, but there were 2 big ones for 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sophomore that this week in the papers after the game, I was really praising Ethan Barker, number 19.
Trips to the near side, single back in the backfield. Number 3, Mario Gatau, and he is stopped by Joe Thede. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for
Gatau had only 30 yards rushing last week. He only averaged just over 2 yards a carry, but he had a 4-yard touchdown reception out of the backfield. So you're going to watch out for number 3, Mario Gatau tonight.
Ball just over the 45-yard line. Back looks, throws complete. Got a 1st down. Brought down by Casey Coltrane was
Ethan Barker once again.
Ethan Barker, yeah. So it's 1st down in Lake Orion territory at the 46-yard line.
Rastigue, the quarterback, calls Barker a freak. He says he makes some great catches, and he's just a sophomore. Makes some sweet moves and gets to the end zone and makes some great plays, great catch. You're going to hear from him a lot over the next couple years at Eisenhower.
2 wideouts, receiver set up on a wait. Up the middle, running room. Number 3, Gatau. Stop by Isaac Kinney and Ashton Kroll in there. So 2nd and 4 from the 40. 10-minute mark here in the first quarter. Down on the clock, Twins. Going this side, complete to Steve Nadolski. He's got a 1st down close to the 31-yard line.
Nadolski last week had 4 catches for 64 yards, and Rastigue, the quarterback, he was 13 of 18 for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. So really efficient, really knows how to run this offense, really grown into that position as a senior. Again, like I said at the pregame, they're in a 7-game winning streak here.
Trips to the left. Coming around the left side. Loose. And did they call him down? Dragons have the ball.
Joe Cady was the one who made the initial contact with Rastigue. And forgive me, but I did not see the ball come out, but
I saw the ball came out. The only question I had was, did they call him down? And they did not. So the Dragons capitalize on the turnover. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Trips left, single wide right. Manzo's alone back in the backfield. Van Heck in motion. Blaze rolling. Trying to get around the corner. He does, and goes out of bounds about the 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Penalty marker on the far side of the field, right at the line of scrimmage. That was clearly intended to be a keep by Lauer the whole entire way. He was not looking downfield whatsoever.
Let's check the call out. Procedure call against Lake Orion. So they back it up. It's now 1st and 15. Gained by Blaze on the keeper.
I think what you're going to see tonight is defenses that are both really fast to the flow of the football.
Trips to the left. Blaze dropping, looks, throws. Complete. Close to the first down, about the 47-yard line.
There's another penalty marker on the field.
And they're going to call a hold against the Dragons. I did not see where the...
About the 32-yard line, they're walking off. Well, as deep than that.
Was it on this side of the field or the far side?
That had to be a personal foul to be marked off that deep.
Wow. So now it is 1st and a whole bunch for the Dragons. Kobe Manzo up the middle. He's up near the 20. They have it out 1st and 38. Now down and 30.
Play calls on the play chart for those. 2nd and 30, 1st and 38.
Trips in a bunch formation left. Blaze back, flushed out. He's going to keep it. He's over to 20, over to 25, and out of bounds at the 26. It'll be 3rd down and long.
3rd down and long, and that's what Ike's going to try to do, is obviously keep everything in front of them and force the punt, hopefully, from their standpoint, and work on getting that field position back like they had.
So 3rd and 19, trips right. Blaze got pressure, throws left, got Manzo, and a flag's coming in. I think they're going to get him on a face mask. 2 flags are down about the 26-yard line. And you could just tell the way his head came around that there was probably some grabbing of the face gear. So we'll check the call. Personal foul, face mask against Eisenhower.
Is that going to be enough?
That's going to be, it was 3rd and 19. If it's 15, make it a 3rd and 4.
But is it after the run?
Well, let's see.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a 1st down.
It will be a 1st down. 1st and 10 from the Lake Orion 48.
Huge penalties. Huge one. You start 1st and 38 and the Lake Orion ends up converting that. That's huge.
So double wide, double slot on 1st down. Blaze stays in the gun. Hand off to Manzo up the middle over the 40, about to the 43. It'll be 2nd down and about 5 or 6. Calling it 2nd and 5.
Manzo, last week, 14 carries, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns, 13.8 yards a carry.
Dragons stay in double wide, double slot. Howell in motion. Manzo up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Got a 1st down at the 40. We have become so used to seeing Kobe Manzo break tackles, keep those legs churning.
The galloping ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just fun to watch.
Blaze, toss to Kobe. Coming around the left side, breaks a tackle up near the 6. It'll be second down.
He gets tripped up and he's falling forward for 2 yards there.
That's that forward lean we always talk about. So the Dragons have a second down and 5 from the Eisenhower 35. Van Heck in motion. Blaze on the keeper. Has down near the 29. It'll be third down and 1.
Good crowd here on a cold night at Dragon Stadium.
You know what? Up until about a half hour before kickoff, it didn't look like it. They were tailgating in a parking lot. Trips right. Manzo gets stopped for no gain. Just got
Ian Westing on that stop.
Ian West just grabbed an ankle and had enough to trip him up. So 4th and 1. Van Heck checks out. And it's 4th and 1. Howell and Starrick split right. Blaze trying to draw him offside. Backed in at a tight end position. Blaze on the keeper. He's got a first down. Down 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Dragons.
Oh.
And a late flag comes in.
Did you see everybody bite on Manzo?
I did.
Everybody came focusing on number 40. Lauer did a nice job keeping it off the edge, knowing where the sticks are for the first down.
We'll see what the flag is. It looked like it would be a post-possession foul. It came in after the play was over. Chuck Phillipson is our referee tonight. Let's see what he calls. Dead. Personal foul against Lake Orion. So that'll back him up. Let's see if we can see what happened. Nope. So wide receiver either side. Manzo up the middle, breaks a tackle. Back up near the 32-yard line. It'll be second and short. And Chris, this is what we talked about, is you get third down or second down and short. It opens your playbook up.
Absolutely.
For so much.
Manzo, you can see him running inside the tackles, outside the tackles. There he's going
Takes
outside
it
the
outside,
tackles.
got a first down and more. Turns the corner, gets down to the 21. It'll be another first down as we pass the 4:30 mark here in the first.
Manzo needs a break. Is that why Robinson's coming in? No, they're going to be both in at the same time.
Going to have two. Marlin actually lines up on a wing left. Breaks one tackle, gets maybe a couple yards.
Yeah, how did he even get that?
They had that sniffed out pretty well, and
still got maybe one, almost 2.
Was on the tackle for Eisenhower. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. Cade Manzo checks in, I believe, at a slot right. Kobe up the middle down to the 20 and maybe a yard gain.
That's one thing that Coach Smith from the Eagles really been impressed with is their defense. Their defense has been playing strong for them all season long, and that's really been the strength of them, especially that defensive line, those linebackers, that front seven, really doing a nice Eagles.
Double wide, double slot. Blaze back to throw, got pressure, looks, throws low and incomplete for Starek. So it'll be 4th down and 9 from the 20. Not much wind tonight. Matter of fact, the flag is hanging limp up in the northeast corner of the end zone. And Connor Ross is trotting on the field. It will be a 37-yard attempt. Mitch Howell will. Isaac Kinney will snap it back. Ball is down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. It wasn't the prettiest kick you ever saw, but it did the job. 2:56 to go. Here in the quarter, jumps out to a 3-0 lead. Tonight's game, if I can read. Tonight's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, Orion Neighborhood Television, and Lake Orion High School's broadcasting program. No use of the words, descriptions, or play-by-play of this game cannot be used without the expressed written consent of the MHSAA, ONTV, or Dragon Broadcasting.
That's Connor Ross's 6th field goal of the season. He's 6 out of 8 this year.
And take a moment to congratulate Coach Blackstock, who was chosen the OAA Coach of the Year, and they had a myriad of players honors, and will name them after the kickoff. Deep is number 4, Steve. Low kick taken on the 12 by Nadolski. He's looking to come back upfield, and he's going to be stacked up and dropped about the 23-yard line. Alwyn Muzan in on the tackle. So anyhow, Coach Blackstock was named Coach of the Year. Blaze Lauer, Drew Van Heck, Isaac Kinney, Cade Manzo is the only junior on the bunch. Joe Cady and Connor Ross all earned all league honors and all very well deserved. 1st and 10 for Eisenhower. Handoff up the middle, stacked up and dropped. Is Mario Gittow. He gets about a yard loss. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, Joe Cady was in there again, and I was out here at practice on Tuesday and that day, and it was really neat to see the practice flow and the camaraderie that the kids were playing with. They're having fun out there, and Cady was leading the bunch defensively, having fun, dancing to the music that was being played. Really neat to see the camaraderie amongst that defensive squad.
Looks, throws, caught on the 30 by Ethan Barker on the catch. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
That's already Barker's 3rd catch here in this first quarter.
3. Tight formation left, 1 wide out right. Looks, throws, caught for a 1st down, and Cade Manzo, I think, stripped the ball. Sinai Palat came in and had him by a shirt tail. Cade came in, not only to secure the tackle, but also to try to strip the ball out, and Eisenhower retained possession.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Look at Palat grabs him by the jersey, and then one. There's Manzo. Katie's almost there. Almost strips it out. It does strip it out. Eagles recover.
Twins left, single wide right. Handoff up the middle. Number 3, Ghetto, gets a yard, maybe 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
No thing on the stripping of the ball, and forcing turnovers. Again, I was out here at practice on Tuesday, and again, the defensive emphasis. They're still working on tackling drills. They're working on making sure they're wrapping up properly, focusing on the fundamentals, which you're going to need if you want to continue on in the playoffs.
Trips left. Tight end lined up on the right side. Ghetto's the looks, throws far side, caught. That was Ethan Barker again.
Tell you what, Blake Grastigu throws a nice ball. He really is
He
on the
had
money. He's very accurate.
Barker had a nice job to go up high to pick it up. Sanai Palat came over from his left cornerback spot all the way across the field to make the tackle, and that's the end of the first quarter. We played 1, the Lake Orion Dragons 3, Utica Eisenhower 0. More can be seen live. MHSAA TV school broadcast program continues to grow with more and more schools using the NFHS network's automated production a lot to show games. And during postseason tournaments, over 700 hours of championship action will be this year. Check it out at mhsaa.tv. Oh, that's great. We just saw a post by Drew Van Heck. He has committed to Western Michigan University to continue his academic and Chris, they're playing baseball. And Chris, they're getting a good one.
Absolutely. Very, very well deserved. Congratulations to Drew.
So 3rd down and 1 from the Lake Orion 46. Twins this side, 1 wide receiver, wide right. Flag on the play.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm watching Coach Blackstock on the sideline talk to the official, the line judge, and he's telling them that they're not aligned. They don't have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what they called. That was all on Coach Blackstock there.
And it's a procedure call against Eisenhower, which takes them from a 3rd and 1 to a 3rd and 6.
Who says you can't get calls by talking to the officials, huh?
Yeah.
He did there.
It's all in the presentation.
Absolutely.
So wide receiver either side, receiver set up on a wing right. Rastigu remains at quarterback, and Ghetto
They're going to have to call
is
timeout.
a running back, and they did. They ran out of time. They come out of their offensive huddle, set up, and I think we've seen it before with them, where they come out and they look to see what the defensive alignment is. Then they look over to the sideline to see if they want to make any corrections on the basic play call. We saw this in the playoffs in 2002, and we brought, you know what, we'll just be slow getting into our defensive setup. They're the ones that are going to get penalized, not us.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked there, because by the time Lake Orion got into their defensive set, the play clock had run down. Now you have a 3rd and 6, and you burned one of your timeouts.
One thing Ike has had success with so far in the first quarter and 2 seconds is throwing the ball, and they only had 38 yards rushing against Rochester Adams last week. So again, they've had success through the air, and I would anticipate them doing the same thing here on 3rd and 6.
And it's not like they're heaving it all over the field. They're controlled passes, high completion. So 3rd and 6, Twins this side, single wide right. Looks,
There's
throws.
The outcut.
High,
That's a heck of a catch.
Heck of a catch. That was a beautiful catch by Barker.
He knew exactly where the sticks were. He drew Sinai off. Sinai thought he was going to run a deep ball, knew where the sticks were, came back to the ball. The ball was thrown high, and like I said earlier, Rastigu said, this kid can catch anything, and you saw it right there.
He goes up and gets it, that's for sure. That was a great catch. So now Barker comes into a slot left, and now goes in motion. Back, looks, throws, intended, caught again for a first down.
Guess who?
And he had Isaac Kinney hanging all over him.
He's got 6 catches already on the night in the first quarter and 37 seconds. Here's the first down play. Went up high and caught the back half of the ball, bobbled it, was hit, still brought it down, secured it properly. Penalty marker on the field.
We have a penalty. It's going to be a dead ball, offside encroachment by the Dragons. That'll move them up 5 and make it 1st and 5.
We talk about it all the time. Those are the unforced errors, if you will, that you just can't have.
Yeah.
You know, you can't give them opportunity, first and short, first and medium, I should say, to be able to do anything offensively.
And they did such a great job last week. Gattal looks, throws to the end zone, caught, touchdown Eisenhower. Guess who?
Ethan Barker, 7th catch of this evening so far.
He went on a post.
Yeah, that's all he did. Plenty of decent pressure from the outside. Rastigu steps up, ran the post. Guess what? Barker met the ball high into the end zone. Ike, 6 points.
He ran right by Caden Beck, and not many receivers have done that this year. So Nick Honecker, number 97, he's a sophomore kicker, and they like him a lot, is on for the extra point. Ball is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 10:51 to go in the second quarter. It's now Eisenhower 7 and the Dragons 3. Thanks to Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Broadcasting, you can watch Lake Orion High School sports and events all year. We've got a full slate of broadcasts from football to volleyball to concerts. This winter we'll have basketball, hockey, competitive cheer, wrestling, and more. It costs less than $11 per month to watch sporting events. You can also get an annual pass for $70 per year, which would save you nearly 50%. Half the subscription money. We're in week 11, and I'm still goes back to our Lake Orion High School program. Tune in online at www.dragonbroadcasting.org.
You know what, Doug? It's a little cold out, and the vocal cords maybe don't move as quick.
A little tighter than they were in September.
A couple scores from Division I. West Bloomfield 14-0 over Plymouth. And Sterling Heights Stevenson 7-0 over Dakota right now. Correction, 8-0.
Honecker approaches, puts a foot into it. High end-over-end kick. Drives Sinai into the end zone. It'll come out 1st and 10 for the Dragons on the 20-yard line. Well, it's about what we've expected. Both defenses have played well. They just had the one breakdown in the secondary, allowing the touchdown.
Yeah, Lake Orion's going to have to find a way. Obviously, it goes without saying, to stop number 19, Ethan Barker. Again, 7 catches already in the touchdown, and he's catching everything in sight. So there's going to have to be some adjustments moving forward if they're going to want to stop the Ike offense.
Double wide, double slot for the Dragons. Manzo up the middle. He gets a yard, and you can tell that defense is keying on him.
Absolutely, as they should. I mean, he's 1,228 yards coming into tonight's game, 15 touchdowns on the year, averaging 8.5. That's where the Lake Orion offense is going to have to start working on getting the ball to Howell, getting the ball to Van Heck, using some other guys to be able to take the load off of Lauer and Manzo.
Tight formation. Mitch Howell on the carry. He's knocked down over the 25 at the 26. Number 45, who is not on the roster. Oh, that's number 48, Anthony Cardamone on the tackle.
Yeah, he's their middle linebacker, and I know the Lake Orion coaching staff was talking a lot about him in practice on Tuesday when I was there. So
don't have sizes on him, but he's a big one. Blaze looks, throws, got Howell, got a first down and more over the 35 to the 36. Talking about our players and where they're going, I was speaking with Connor Ross before the game. He said he's going up to Michigan State. And another good institution is getting a good young man. Blaze, rolling right, looking, throwing. In front of Howell, it'll be second down.
Yeah, there's Cardamone at number 48 again, just stringing that play out, forcing Lauer to not be able to turn up, and that's all Lauer could do is throw it and throw it short. It's probably his best interest because coverage was on Howell in that instance.
So now it's 2nd and 10. Blaze on a counter to Manzo. He falls forward to the 40.
Number 59, Luke Devereaux, did a nice job of defensive tackle, disrupting that draw play, forcing Manzo to have to bounce outside. Penalty marker on the field.
Holding against the Dragons. That's a spot foul from the 32-yard line. So now you would go from what would have been a 3rd down and 7. Now you repeat 2nd down, and you have 2nd down and 25.
Lake Orion's put themselves in these situations too many times already so far tonight. 2nd and long, 3rd and long.
Four wide receivers. Blaze goes up the middle, and he's dropped.
There's Ian West again. He's been in the Lake Orion backfield a couple times tonight. He wasn't in the backfield that time, but he certainly put a lick on Lauer.
Yeah, he was flattened. He got a yard and went down. So now it's 3rd down and 24. The ball is marked on the 23. And that's the second time the Dragons have found themselves in a plus 20-yard position. And Lake Orion is going to take a timeout with 8:26 to go here in the second, and the Dragons down 4. So we can tell that they've got, we talked about it in pregame, they've got a real active defense, the same as Lake Orion does. They've been able to get some good plays running the ball. What's the difference?
I think the difference right now has been, I'll be honest, Lake Orion's beaten themselves. There's been a couple holding penalties. They had the personal foul, forcing them into as you see right now, 3rd and 24. And so Lake Orion's going to have to stop beating themselves with these penalties. You have to find a way, again, like I said earlier, to utilize and open up the playbook in terms of not focusing so much on Manzo. Obviously, he's your bell cow. He's at 1,200 plus yards on the ground, but utilizing some of the other talent they have to be able to mix and match and be able to move the ball down the field. Again, the Ike defense is by far the strength of their team, and you've seen it here so far tonight.
Double wide, double slot look for the Dragons. Blaze looking for a receiver, throws out this side, has to brink it at the 26, and it'll be 4th down and long. And, you know, I was going to make the comment that last week we saw very few penalties.
Yeah, Lake Orion only had 1 last week. Stony Creek had 3.
So Steve Nadowski is set up on his own 43-yard line. High kick taken. Ball's on the ground. Caden Beck has it.
Kinney's the first one to make contact on Nadolski. Guess who's there to pick it up?
Dragons get the ball back, 1st and 10. Heads up play by Caden Beck.
The timing by Kinney was absolutely perfect. As soon as Nadolski touched that ball, boom, Kinney's there to make contact. You'll see it right here. Boom, boom, right there. 1-2, and look who's doing a nice job back downfield. Lake Orion takes over 1st and 10 from the 48.
That's the 2nd turnover by Eisenhower. Double wide, double slot for the Dragons. Motion, this side, handoff to Manzo up the middle. He's into Eisenhower territory at the 45-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 7. They're calling him on the 46 to make it 2nd and 8. 7:45 to go before halftime. Van Heck in motion. He's got the ball on the end around. He gets maybe a yard to the 45. It'll bring up 3rd down.
You can already tell as you climb the ladder playing in the playoffs here, the talent level on both sides starts to become a little bit more narrow, and you're seeing that here tonight. 2 phenomenal teams playing a great physical, fast football game.
Trips to the right, single wide out left. Blaze got pressure, and he's going down at the 40 or the 39-yard line. They're calling it the 40, and that was as much a coverage sack as anything else.
Well, you know what? But that defensive line led by Ian West also did a nice job of attacking Lauer from the outside in, attacking his back shoulder to force him up in the pocket where the defensive tackles and such were there. They couldn't let Lauer get to the outside. If you let Lauer get to the outside, that's where he's going to beat you. They kept him in the pocket, were able to contain him and sack him.
Connor Ross in punt formation. High kick. Nadowski calls for a fair catch at the 24-yard line, where Eisenhower will take over 1st and 10. Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. They come out, trips left, single back in the backfield. Look, pressure. And finally taken down at the 20. Ari Curtis, Isaac Kinney, Austin Kroll in on the tackle.
They were in on the tackle, but it was James McCoy, number 51, who made the initial contact, and Rastigue somehow got and eluded that pressure, but it also at the same time slowed up Rastigue to allow the other Dragon defenders to be there.
So now it's 2nd and 13. The ball is marked on the 22. Rastigue back, look, intercepted! Coming back downfield, number 30, Joe Cady, with a lineman's dream, and takes it down just outside the 5-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, Rastigue tries to run the middle screen inside, and Cady steps right in the passing lane, and great job of coming off those blocks and reading that all the way. And I think he was so excited that he was going to get there, and that right there about the number 1, the top of the number 1, tripped him up. That's the 12th man on the field, that number 1. Nonetheless, Lake Orion has got to take advantage of this turnover. They've only converted the 2 other Ike turnovers into 3 points. They've got to take advantage and put 7 on the board here.
So Twins right. Manzo up the middle. He's in. Touchdown. Lake Orion Dragons. Kobe Manzo from 5 yards out, and the Dragons retake the lead.
At some point in time, if you don't take advantage of those turnovers, those come back to haunt you. And we're winning the turnover battle right now, 3-0. Lake Orion is. Ross puts us through.
Alex Jeljaj tripped him up. Connor did not get a good kickoff, but it went over the crossbar, and that's all that matters. 5:34 to go. It's now Lake Orion 10, Utica Eisenhower 7.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. That is so true.
It is.
And I am a big proponent of that.
Like we said, Drew Van Heck, football, baseball, going to Western to play baseball.
I mean, 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road, you're not going to necessarily remember Game 6 or Game 8 or Game 10 in whatever season you're playing. You're going to remember the relationships that are built. And playing multiple sports, again, introducing you to new kids and new opportunities, and that's what interscholastic athletics is all about.
Connor's got it teed up on the 40. High pop-up kick. Fair catch called for and made by Colin Sealing. And Eisenhower, they're going to make him re-kick.
Yeah, Lake Orion was offsides.
I did not see the flag. I was watching the high kick.
Again, another unforced error.
Yeah.
That you hope doesn't come back to hurt you, but
the return men are set up at the 15-yard line. As we said, no wind tonight. Connor approaches. Boots it deep and goes into the end zone, where Eisenhower will take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line with 5:32 to go before halftime.
You look at that kickoff, that penalty, it actually worked out to Lake Orion's advantage.
It did.
Because Ike would have had the ball at the 30-something, maybe 40-yard line, but Ross kicks it into the end zone.
That's the kind of thing that it just barely made it over the end line, and had it not, it would have been a live ball about the 2.
Mm-hmm.
So Eisenhower comes out, wide out each side. Receiver Barker set up on a wing right. Flag on the play. We will check out the flag. Came right at the snap. Dead ball, false start, offense. So that'll back them up 5.
We've had some false starts. We've had a couple offsides. Just a lot of penalties now. You wonder if it's a number of things. One, it's the second round of the playoffs, the district finals. It's cold out there. These kids want to get moving and stay active. It could be nerves. It could be a combination of a lot of things. But the officials are making their presence known.
They are. So first and 15. Rastigue looks, throws, got a receiver. He breaks a tackle and gets free over the 40. That was Steve Nadolski on the reception. Did a good job breaking a tackle and getting additional yardage.
Haven't seen Rastigue in a lot of games, but tell you right now, if you give him a clean pocket like it was right there, he's going to do this to you all night. And Lake Orion's got to be able to put more pressure on Rastigue.
I don't think he's thrown an incompletion yet, has he?
That's Nadolski's second catch of the night as well.
So first and 10 from the 43. Twins right, single wide left. Thrown deep for Barker, overthrown, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
As soon as you say it, Doug, it happens.
As soon as I say it.
But I tell you what, Barker was open. Just ball was overthrown.
He was. He not only has great hands, he's got some wheels, because he outran Sinai Palat, which not many receivers have done this year.
He's not a big kid. Eisenhower does not have height and weights on their roster here, but he's not a big kid. We're out down there on pregame, and I was watching him warm up right in front of us, and he's not a big kid. I'm 6'1". He's probably 5'9", 5'10", if I had to guess.
So wide receiver either side. Looks, throws. Oh, my goodness. Incomplete. It hit Isaac Kinney right between the 2 and the 4, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, Kinney was focused solely on number 88, Colin Sealing, which he should be, right? But he didn't also see the ball coming off Sealing's hands, that if he had his head up watching the football, might have picked it off and taken it that way.
So 3rd and 10 from the Eisenhower 43.
Watch down here. Watch down here.
And we have a play stoppage. Lake Orion is going to take a timeout. 4:44 left in the second.
Here I'm saying watch down here like everyone else is going to see where I'm pointing, right? I meant watch the Barker matchup down here on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, well, near side. You know, the teams, players, and coaches work hard all week getting ready for the game. So do the officials. Local officials meetings across the state every week help the men and women calling the action stay on top of their game. Let's give them the respect that they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
That's an underappreciated position. They do a really nice job of being a part and bringing out the game, any sport at the high school level, and it's just we need more of them. There's no question about it.
No question. So 3rd down and 10. Pressure, looks, throws deep. Got a receiver, Nadolski, and he's going to go. 57 yards on 3rd down.
Clean pocket once again. Rastigue had time to throw.
Yeah, let's give their offensive line the props they deserve, because he wasn't touched.
You can see it right here from field level. Steps up into the pocket. He's got time to throw, and Nadolski's 7 yards out in front. Manzo's on the backside of the play. Nadolski into the end zone for 6.
Honecker on for the extra point. Ball is down. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:35 to go. Eisenhower takes the lead, 14-10. Yeah, just when you think that the Dragons have done a lot, they were holding them on that series. One play, bang.
And Lake Orion, coming into tonight's game on 3rd down defensively, their opponents only got converted 29.8% on 3rd down. So that's a big 3rd down play to give up.
It was. So the Dragons will get the second half kickoff. Sinai Palat and Marlon Robinson drop back deep. Mitch Howell and Drew Van Heck are the upbacks.
I said earlier with Barker catching all those balls, but Nadolski had a great drive that time, obviously ending with the 57-yard touchdown pass. I don't want to say it's 2 guys you got to beat, you stop, but those wide receivers, Barker and Nadolski, are doing a great job of allowing the Eagles to move the ball downfield.
They have done an excellent job tonight. And, they don't have a good night without having a good quarterback throwing to them.
No question about it.
High end-over-end kick taken by Sinai in the end zone. It'll come out 1st and 10 for the Dragons on their own 20 with 4:35 to go. And Chris, you get the second half kickoff. It would be nice to get a score going into the locker room at halftime.
There's no question. When you talk about turnover margin, Lake Orion leads 3-0. That's such an important statistic, but it doesn't mean anything when you're down and haven't converted those turnovers into points. You're down 14-10. Yes, you're right. It would be great to win these middle four minutes. These 4 minutes here and the 4 minutes coming out in the third quarter. You win those 3 or the 4 minutes in each half, you're going to be in good shape.
Toss back to Van Heck. He is stopped right at the line. It'll be 2nd down.
You put together a 4-minute drive here, and you come out with some momentum. You come back into out of halftime and put in a nice drive, and that's a really key, important part of the game that I think a lot of times programs don't focus on too much. I know Lake Orion does, though.
So 2nd and 10, trips right, single wide left. Blake trying to run it, gets up again near the 20, and he stopped for no gain.
That's Ian West again. I'm going to say that's another guy Lake Orion's going to have to do a better job of not letting get into the backfield is Ian West, number 22, their left defensive tackle.
Yeah, he and Luke Devereaux closed in on him. So 3rd and 10. Over the middle, intercepted. And there's a flag down, intercepted by Jack Whitwer, number 7. We'll check out the flag.
This is huge if it's on the Eagles.
Pass interference against Utica Eisenhower. That will be a 1st down for the Dragons. And you're right, that's huge.
Yeah, 1st down by penalty on 3rd and 10.
So 1st and 10, Starrick and Van Heck. Line up right. Manzo up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, gets over the 45, and has a 1st down. And that time it seemed like the Eisenhower defense concentrated a lot on the motion man and on the 3 wides, And here goes Kobe right
yeah,
up the
they
middle.
were 3 wides to the far side of the field here. They're unbalanced as well.
Blaze looking, going deep for Starek. Intercepted. Was he in bounds? Out of bounds. It'll be second down.
That's Nadolski again, number 4. So not only can he catch the ball on the offensive side, obviously.
See if we can get a replay on that, because Joe Johnson was right at the play.
A heck of a catch. He high-pointed that ball, and Nadolski, but fell out of bounds on the catch.
So it's second and 10. Trips right, single wide left. Blaze back to throw. Got pressure, going down, and another flag. So we'll check out the call. We said Chuck Phillipson is the referee. Bob Williams is the head linesman. Dan Vogt is the line judge. Jason Wrigley is the umpire. And Sean Williams is the back judge. And right now they're having a discussion right in front of Coach Smith.
They might take the sack, make it third down.
Yeah, they are. They're going to decline it. Holding offense declined. It'll be third down and 13.
A couple holding penalties by Lake Orion. That quickness of that defensive line for Eisenhower, I think, is so far has been the difference.
Trips right. Kobe trying to get around the left side. He does. The right side, he does, and he's going to be stopped for a 2-yard loss. It'll be fourth down.
Yeah, Michael Gardini, the left defensive end, just kept stringing that play long, and Manzo couldn't find a way to cut up field and held him up just enough to trip up Manzo for a 4-yard loss.
And it looks like Drew Van Heck is down. It is. Joey Tysick just said it's Kobe Manzo is down. So they'll take a look at him. 2:32 to go before halftime. Let's
go back to that catch by Nadolski, which ended up being out of bounds. Caught the ball high. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice call by the official. Nice camera work as well.
Yeah.
That left foot ends up coming out of bounds. The ball was certainly caught and secured, but you can see that left foot. Is it the left foot or the right foot? Nonetheless, out of bounds.
Great camera work by Joe Johnson down there. So
maybe he's not cold after all down there.
No, he's not. He learned his lesson after last week. So 4th and 16, Connor Ross on the punt. Wobbly kick down to about the 30. They're going to let it go down to the 25. And they'll blow it dead about the 25-yard line. 2:13 left to go, and Eisenhower up by 4. So now we have to see what is up with Kobe Manzo. He's down on the sideline walking around. It looks like they're looking at his right leg. He's got a little limp. He'll have a halftime to get better. Wide out either side for Eisenhower. Rastigue back, setting up a screen. Complete and dropped about the 32-yard line. Isaac Kinney brings down Getow. So it's second down and 2, under 2 minutes to go.
Another score of Division I, Cass Tech 10, Dearborn Fordson 7 in the middle of the second quarter.
Twins this side, one receiver right. Rastigue looks, has a receiver, got a first down up near the 45-yard line. And that was complete to Nadolski. So 1st and 10, 1:30 to go before halftime. Trips to the right. Looks, gonna run it. He's got clear sailing up the middle. Down to the 30 goes Rastigue. And 1st and 10, they're calling it down on the 29 as we approach 1 minute to go.
Yeah, so that's another thing you got to contend with now. If you stop Nadolski, if you stop Barker, you got to be able to contain Rastigue. He was able to come free for a big gain that time.
Rastigue looks, throws, complete. Good tackle by Dylan Altman on Barker. And Eisenhower is going to take a timeout. They have one left. The Dragons have one left with 40.8 seconds to go. The nose of the ball is just shy of the 24-yard line. So I think they've got one shot left, got one shot to the end zone, and then look at a field goal.
Some OAA scores, Division II, end of the first quarter. This is a while, 33 minutes ago. Seaholm 7, Groves 0.
That would be huge.
That would be.
It's early.
That is a big rivalry.
Those boy.
Seaholm and Groves.
Oh, is that ever.
It's big in the regular season. It's even bigger in the playoffs.
Birmingham's version of Auburn, Alabama. So Twins left, single wide right. Gatow is the lone back. Rastigue looks, throws, got Barker, looks, caught it. First and goal from the 1.
The ball was perfect. The catch was even more perfect, meeting that ball high and getting hit as he caught the ball. Kid's pretty impressive. Both kids pretty impressive.
Wholesale changes.
Again, there's the clean pocket. He's got a nice throwing lane to be able to put that ball up.
Toss back. Gatow in for the touchdown. 31.2 seconds to go. And Eisenhower looking to extend their lead to 11. Nothing fancy about that one.
Not about that, but leading up to it was that pass and catch from Rastigue to Barker was pretty impressive. Barker's got 9 catches this half alone.
Yeah, this half. Honecker on for the extra point. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is no good. 31.2 seconds to go before halftime. It's now Utica Eisenhower 20, Lake Orion 10. Keep up with everything MHSAA on social media. Look them up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for tournament updates, event announcements, video highlights, and high school sports news from around the state. It's the best way to connect with the MHSAA every day.
Update on that Seaholm Groves score, 28-7 Seaholm over Groves.
You know, we talked about it. You just, it like you said in the pregame, on any given Friday night.
Here's another important score for this Division I bracket, and the winner of this game here, Orion and Ike, would play the winner of this game. Davidson 14, Lapeer 14 in the second quarter.
You know, we take them as they come, but it would be nice to see Davison, because should Lake Orion and Davison win, the game will be here next Friday night.
Hopefully a little warmer.
Hopefully. So Honaker has it teed up. Sinai Palat, Marlon Robinson deep. Honaker puts a foot into it. End over end kick into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20 where the Dragons will take over. 1st and 10 with 31.2 seconds to go. And you've got to take a couple shots here. You've got 30 seconds. You got a timeout.
Like you said, you are getting the ball back at halftime, or after halftime, excuse me.
And they're not going to. They're going to take a knee and go into the half and get ready to go for the second half. An entertaining half of football, to say the least. We've seen great plays on both sides of the ball. And at the half, the Utica Eisenhower Eagles 20, the Lake Orion Dragons 10. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football on the MHSAA streaming service, Orion Neighborhood Television, and Dragon Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Owen TV here. Now, have you ever had the urge to create your own TV show? Or just wanted to see what goes behind the scenes of making one? Well, we have just the program for you. Owen TV offers production classes, which allow you to take control and create the programs you want them to be. To get started, all you have to do is sign up for a free orientation, and then register for one of our production courses. For more information, feel free to call us at 248-393-1060. Or go to orionontv.org and click register now to sign up for classes. We hope to see you soon.
At the half, the Lake Orion Dragons trail the Utica Eisenhower Eagles 20-10. Chris, we brought up a couple things. Number one is how good the quarterback-receiver combination is between Rastigue and Ethan Baker.
Yeah, I've got Baker. I've got him down for 9 receptions, and even Nadolski, who had the 57-yard touchdown pass and a 1-yard touchdown run, I've got him down for 6 catches as well. So I don't have the statistics on Rastigue, but he's been solid, and there hasn't been there's been a couple, 1 or 2 overthrown balls, and then the one ball thrown to number 88, Colin Sealing, was knocked out or off his hands, I should say, and Kinney could have intercepted it had he seen it. But he's been solid, but he's got time to throw. Rastigue does, and the Lake Orion pass rush is not quite there. Give credit, like you said earlier in the first half, give credit to that Ike offensive line is doing a nice job of forming a pocket, and Rastigue can just step up and throw. And so, one, Lake Orion's going to have to find ways to put pressure on Rastigue, and two, we've got to find Lake Orion offensively. He's got to find a way to move the ball other than Kobe Manzo. Yeah. 119 total yards of offense, but there's been a number of penalties on Lake Orion, a couple holding penalties, some offsides penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct. Those things, as we've talked about all year long, can't happen if you want to win games here in the district finals and beyond.
You've also got some scores of interest.
In the OAA Red Division 1, OAA Red, we're not OAA. In the OAA Red. In the OAA Division 1, and not even Division 1, let's go Division 1. Cass Tech 24-7 over Dearborn Fordson. In the OAA, we've got Birmingham Seaholm 28, Groves 7.
That's huge.
West Bloomfield 28-0 over Plymouth at half. What are some other ones here? There's another important Division I scored at half. Dakota 14, Sterling Heights Stevenson 11, and Davidson Lapeer is 14-14 at half as well. So some great, another Division I score, Brighton 28, East Kentwood 6 at half. So bottom line, first things first. You got to win this game first to be able to talk about who you're going to play next.
Yeah, the winner of this game will take on the winner of Davison Lapeer next Friday night. Should Lake Orion win and Davison win, the game would be here. And I believe if Lake Orion and Lapeer both win, the game would be at Lapeer.
Correct.
A repeat of opening weekend.
Yeah, even though Lake Orion beat Lapeer up there,
yeah,
the playoff points-wise dictates that it would be at Lapeer.
Yeah. So, the task at hand for the Dragons is to get the ball and put points on the board. They're down 10 coming into the second half. They have to come out of this third quarter with points to make it close in the fourth.
Got to have the ball more than 3 plays like they did last third quarter against Stony Creek last week.
Nick Honecker, the sophomore, will kick off. Sinai Palat, Marlon Robinson are deep for the Dragons.
First time all season long Lake Orion's been down at halftime.
That's amazing.
It'll be interesting to see how they respond.
And I'm sure that was brought up in the locker room at halftime. High end over end kick. Coming down to Sinai. Drops the ball, picks it up, gets a fortuitous bounce. Gets over the 25, near the 30, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. Sinai made the catch, and the ball came right out of his grasp, bounced, and came right back into his hands.
A little Sunday hop, just like in baseball, huh?
Yeah.
Except it's Friday, right?
It's Friday. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. DeBrinket is in at a tight end. Howell is split right and now goes in motion. Manzo up the middle. He's got 8. It'll be 2nd down. They're giving him 7. Good to see Kobe back in there. He was banged up toward the end of the second quarter, and he's back in at that running back position. Howell splits wide this side. Backs in an I formation. Kobe again, tripped up after maybe a half yard. It'll be 3rd down.
Ian West again, number 22, that left defensive tackle, just tripping up. And that's been a number of times tonight that Kobe has been just tripped up.
Yeah.
And if he's able to keep his balance, he's still running.
So 3rd down. 2 wide receivers, backs in an offset I. Mitch Howell on the sweep. He stacked up after a 2-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
So we talked early, but with about 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the second quarter, we talked about winning the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter.
Yeah.
And Ike won the last 4 minutes of the second quarter. 3 and out right now for Lake Orion.
Connor Ross in to kick. High wobbly kick. Takes a sideways bounce down to the Alwyn Moulin was trying to do a little curling move to get a little more English on the ball. It will be 1st and 10 Eisenhower from the 33 just underway here in the third quarter.
Don't you need the broom to do that, though?
You need the broom.
Whatever. It's probably not called a broom. It's called something else. I should know. My wife's from Canada. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand the sport, but
we'll make sure we bring it up next season. So 1st and 10 for Eisenhower. Rastigu leads them out. Tight formation. Handoff on the sweep. And Nadolski is chopped down by Ilario Marcoux, who cut in from his safety position and dropped him for a 5-yard loss.
Chopped down is right. Look at Marcoux. Boom, not touched. Makes a great lower body tackle.
So
Lake Orion's going to need more of those if they want to get back in this football game.
2nd and 15. Looks, throws, got a receiver. Gets extra yardage when Caden Beck fell down. Complete to Nadolski, who very quietly is having himself a really good game tonight. 1st and 10 for the Eagles on their own 47. Ari Curtis has been very quiet tonight. Hope to hear from him later on. Handoff up the middle. Getow has a first down into Dragon territory. They're going to call him down at the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Eisenhower.
Nice run by Getow there. Looked like he was going to be stopped near the line of scrimmage, and he's able to spin away from the would-be defender and get a big first down for Ike.
So wide out either side, and Barker is on a wing right. Quarterback keeper, and he's going to be stacked up on the 30 and fights forward down to the 27-yard line.
If you were to look from this vantage point, look at where all the Dragon players are. I mean, look, what I'm getting at is there was a wall of white 8 yards downfield.
Yeah.
No Dragon defenders in the backfield. So they're doing a nice job up front. Eisenhower is moving the ball, at least in this drive, providing some nice running lanes for their backs.
Rastigu on the pitch. And Getow looks like he has a first down, and he does at the 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Eisenhower. And if you think this is a little reminiscent of what we saw last week, it is. They just are getting first down after first down after first down. So 1st and 10, Twins this side, one receiver right. Keeper and Rastigu gets a couple down to the 25. It'll be 2nd and 8 as we approach the 8-minute mark here in the third quarter.
Lake Orion's got to find a way to gang tackle, force fumbles, focus on that football.
So 1st and 10, Twins left, single wide right. Rastic got a receiver wide open, and he dropped it. That was that was number 15, Aiden Ives. He caught the ball. He had the ball in his hands at the 1, and by the time he got to the goal line, the ball was on the ground.
It's one of those situations where you're so wide open.
Yeah.
You think, I don't know if you think you're going to get hit because you don't expect to be that wide open, and you forget about the football, and that's, I think, exactly what happened there.
3rd and 8, Twins left, single wide right. Rastigu looks, throws, broken up.
That's a beautiful play.
Dylan
Perfect,
Altman.
yeah, exactly. Perfect technique. He had that inside arm up, was able to knock that ball down with his left hand, just like you draw it up. Well
Yep.
done.
So it's 4th and 8 from the 25. It would be about a 42-yard field goal attempt. And they're going to go for it. Tight formation. Ghetto is the lone back in the backfield, and Eisenhower's going to take a timeout with 7:46 to go here in the third. You know, the second half page of the MHSAA website gets you closer to the action with features on high school sports from around the state, weekly Coaches Association's rankings, and coverage of MHSAA tournament finals. It's a great read with fresh content nearly every weekday during the school year. Make the MHSAA's second half your first stop for high school sports information.
Sterling Heights Stevenson 18, Macomb Dakota 14 in the third quarter. Birmingham Seaholm again 28-7 over Groves. Farmington 10, UAD Jesuit 8, another OAA score.
You know, that Farmington program has had such a drastic turnaround in the last couple of years. Like to see them make a run. So 4th down and 8. Tight formation. Rastigue in a pistol. Drops back, getting pressure, looks, throws, caught. First down. Caught by Steve Nadolski again. And that'll be a first down for Utica Eisenhower at the 13-yard line.
That's at least 2 fourth down conversions
Yeah.
tonight by Ike.
Yeah. Kobe Manzo checks in at an end position. Drew Van Heck comes in at a linebacker position.
Lake Orion has got to find a way to get out of here giving up nothing.
So tight formation on first down. Rastigu's under center for probably the first time tonight. Looks, throws, end zone, touchdown. Ian West. They flooded the right side. They had 4 receivers over there, and West took it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, just sneaks out from his fullback position, comes off the edge, and just lofts it up, and he kind of, it's the first time West has been in there on offense tonight from that fullback position, because you said.
Yeah.
Uh,
I counted 5 eligible numbers over on the right side when that pass was thrown. So Honecker is on for the extra point. Ethan Barker holding. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 7:09 to go here in the third. It's now Eisenhower 27, Lake Orion 10. Wow.
Rastigu's third touchdown pass of the night.
Stay in tune with the Preps by listening to This Week in High School Sports on the MHSAA network. Carried on nearly 100 radio stations and web audio outlets, This Week features various sports, provides officiating insights on its Be the Referee segment, and closes with a weekly commentary. This Week in High School Sports can also be heard by visiting the homepage of the MHSAA website. So the Dragons have a tall task in front of them. 7:09 to go here in the third. They're down 17. The winner moves on. The loser turns in equipment on Monday. It's that simple.
The finality of the MHSAA playoffs.
Absolutely. Nick Honecker again has it teed up on the 40. Sinai Palat is deep for the Dragons. End over end kick. Sinai takes it. That's Marlon Robinson. Cuts, jukes a little bit. Gets over the 25 to the 26. where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10.
West Bloomfield 35, Plymouth 0, third quarter. Running clock in effect there. Agreed.
West Bloomfield is poised to got a big run this year. Oh, here come the Dragons. They double the handoff on the keeper. 35 to the and it for the one way to kind of be honest, play fake to your back and get up the middle.
Just 17, but there's plenty of time. Quick strike as the Lake Orion offense has been. There's plenty to get back.
Drew Van Heck, the Jet, and he's over the 43. Down and
got to stay with that point in time. They're one.
No, 5 near 4. Third down and long. They're calling 2. So will we. Tight formation. He gets the call. And more. Did you see a flag?
No. Obviously, I'm not the running back in that instance, but I thought it could have bounced to the outside as opposed to cutting inside. Nonetheless, it's a big first down for the Dragons.
1st and 10, ball down 3, 5:34 to go. Blaze looks. Ball's batted down and intercepted at the 40. The ball was batted at the line, went straight up, and brought down by number 48, Anthony Cardamone. So they're marking it on the 41. And, you know, that's just one of those things. Somebody went up and batted it straight up in the air.
You can't get to the quarterback. What's a defensive lineman supposed to do?
Jump
get their hands up.
Try to block
That's
it.
exactly what they did.
And we're going to get against the Dragons. That'll make it a 1st and 5 from. And again, we're seeing penalties this week that we did not see last week.
When you get to this stage of the game, those things are much more magnified when they happen.
Yeah. We have a whistle, and trying to call another time. 28 to go in the third. Eisenhower has 1 timeout left here in the second. We will remind you again that this is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, Orion Neighborhood Television, and Dragon Broadcasting. No use, reproduction, or of the play-by-play or other descriptions of this game without the expressed written permission of the MHSAA, Orion Neighborhood Television, or Dragon Broadcasting is strictly prohibited.
21-14 Davison over Lapeer in the third.
1st and 5, Twins left, single wide right. Rastigue back, looks, going deep. Good job up again, Dylan Altman, who's played a tremendous game from his cornerback position.
Good coverage, tough ball to catch, or to attempt to catch, but Lake Orion's going to need a few more of those. Needs the ball back, needs to be able to convert when they get that ball back.
2nd and 5 from the 46.
Find a way, Dragons, find a way.
Twins left, single wide right. Rastigu back, intended for Nadolski, incomplete. Sinai Pilot on the coverage.
Can't throw a better ball than that.
No.
Nadolski right off his hands. He's caught everything else in sight tonight.
So now it's 3rd and 5. Rastigu in the gun. They have a double wing set up. Gatow is the back. Looks, throws, got a receiver and dropped. Nadolski drops one, which hasn't happened much tonight.
Not at all, no. In 2 and so this will be interesting to see what Ike does here at midfieldish area.
So 4th and 5, and they're going to go for it.
See, I'm always of the mindset that you play the field position game here. You're up 17.
A punt would put the Dragons deep to start.
That's just me.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
They come out, Twins left, single wide right. Gatow is the back, and it's a quick kick. They didn't go in punt formation, but Rastigu just quick kicked it. It's going to go dead on the just shy of the 22-yard line. Call it the 21, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10 with 5:01 to go.
What that offensive formation allows you to do is keep your offensive personnel on the field, keep their defensive personnel on the field. There's not as much of a chance for a bad snap or a blocked punt or things of that nature. So makes sense the way they ran that 4th down play.
Dragons come out, trips left, single wide right. Toss back, Manzo up to the 25. And wherever Kobe goes, you've got a couple white shirts tailing him. So brings up 2nd, they're calling it, and 7 as we approach 4:30. Double wide, double slot. Howell in motion. He gets the handoff, trying to cut it upfield, and runs out of bounds about the 29. It'll be another 3rd down for the Dragons. They're calling them out at the 28.
What's not happening right now is the Dragons aren't getting perimeter push downfield, and it's forcing Howell to have to run horizontally as opposed to vertically. Got to work on getting a better job perimeter blocking, getting some movement so Howell and those can cut upfield.
Double wide, double slot again. Blaze back. He's going to run it. He's got a 1st down. He got right to the sticks and got out of bounds. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons on a designed quarterback draw. So, Dragons, 1st and 10 from their own 33. They stay double wide, double slot. Motion this side, Van Heck cuts it outside, breaks a tackle, gets over the 40 to the 41. And it'll be 2nd down and 2. Dragons going hurry up. They come out, trips right. Cade Manzo is in a slot. Blaze, throwback to DeBrincat. tripped over the 40-yard line.
No, they say his knee was down as he caught the ball. Did his knee go down? I don't know that it went down.
I don't know. We'll have to look, see if we can get a replay on that one.
Yeah, his knee went down to get it, but did his knee touch the ground? They're saying obviously he did.
There's not much of a complaint being made on the Lake Orion sideline. So it's 3rd and 3, trips right, single wide left. Blaze looks, throws to Brinkett, incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Mitch came out to the sticks, turned around and planted. The ball was there, but he had pressure coming up from the back and couldn't hold on. So Connor Ross comes on to punt. 3:23 to go here in the 3rd. Nadolski drops deep. High wobbly kick, takes a Lake Orion bounce inside the 25 down to near the 20-yard line, where Eisenhower will take over 1st and 10 with 3:10 to go. And Chris, we have it again. Another opportunity where they moved the ball but just couldn't sustain it.
Yeah, it was 20-10 at halftime. And looking at the series, the different series this quarter for Lake Orion, 3-and-out, punt, interception, and then a punt again. So you just can't get back into the football game with those types of drives. Got to find a way to force a turnover and get that ball back.
So Eisenhower comes out, trips left. Toss back to Gatow. He's up near the 30. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Inside of 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd.
They've started to have some little success with that little option play as well to Gatow. And so, again, 2nd and 2 now. You got a lot of variety to do a number of things offensively.
Yep. We've said about so much with the Dragons. It opens up your playbook for a lot of things. They come out trips right. Rastigue on the keeper. He's dropped by Ari Curtis. And it'll be 3rd down and 1 from the 30. Good stop by Ari.
At this point in time, I could probably say this play is big. This is big. This is a big 3rd down play.
Trips to the left. Rastigue on a toss back, dropped. Ball's loose. Ball's kicked out of bounds. Eisenhower will retain possession, but it will be 4th down and about 8.
Great job on the initial hit, forcing the fumble. Then Caden Beck had a chance to pick that ball up, and he's the one who, I couldn't quite tell, but he kicked it or punched it out of bounds as he was trying to grab it. But that's a great stop, and now Lake Orion's got to take advantage of the shorter field with a nice return.
Rastigue is the punter. Cardamone is the upback. Bad punt. Takes a Lake Orion bounce and then comes back upfield. It'll be downed near the 47-yard line, where the Dragons will take over with good field position with 1:35 to go here in the 3rd.
4 punts this half, 2 by each squad. 1 touchdown by the Eagles.
And the Dragons have had pretty good field position.
Find a way, Dragons. Find a way.
Blaze leads them out. Single wide out, 2 tight ends. Blaze on the keeper, gets about a yard. And another great play fake, because I'm watching Kobe coming this side.
Yeah, great play fake, but I'm going to give credit to number 5 there, Nick Price, coming from his spot to close down on Lauer. I thought Lauer had plenty of room to run, and all of a sudden, number 5, Price comes from his cornerback position, stops Lauer for a 1-yard gain.
Blaze back, looks, going deep, overthrows Starrick, and it'll be 3rd down and 9 with 1:02 to go. As we said, the wind has not been a factor. The flag has stayed pretty much limp all evening long. So trips left, Blaze back, looks, throws. Caught by Van Heck, breaks a couple tackles. He's inside the 30 down to the 27.
What a ball by Lauer. He put that on a line. Beautiful passing between 2 Eisenhower defenders. Nice job, way to get the first down, Dragons.
And Drew did the rest. Double wide, double slot. Dragons going hurry up. Blaze drops, looks. He's going to run it. Tries to cut upfield near the 20, inside the 10, down to the 5. 1st and goal.
There's an athlete making something happen. He had plenty of time, but good coverage downfield. He steps up in the pocket and takes off, and a little juke step up about the 25-yard line. There's the catch earlier from Van Heck.
Blaze looks. He's going to run it, looks, throws. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons.
That's the way to answer it. That
complete to Kobe Manzo.
That's a senior quarterback leading you downfield, put you in great opportunity to have success. Well done, Blaze Lauer.
Kobe just kind of snuck out of the backfield, and it looked like nobody picked him up in the end zone. So Connor Ross on for the extra point. Ball is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 23 seconds to go. In the 3rd quarter, the Dragons close it to 10.
Well, I think Lauer did a nice job of pretending like he was going to run, and that brought the Eagles defenders towards him, and then he was able to just dump it off to Manzo into the end zone. Obviously, the play prior to that, him running the yardage he ran, probably set that up for him, and what a great answer. With the short field, taking advantage of the punt, the shorter field, 53-yard drive, touchdown Dragons. They're down 10 now.
So now the onus really goes on the Dragon defense to get a stop and come back, get the ball back for their offense.
Get to Rastigue.
Which they have not done very much.
They have
all
not
day.
done, but they've started. Ike this half has started to establish a running game. So Gata has been running the ball well, and they've got to stop that now. So nice balance of offense by Eisenhower. Lake Orion's got to find a way to get the ball back.
Nadolski and Nick Sefcovic are back deep for Eisenhower. Connor approaches, high end over end kick, down to the 3. Over the 15, 20, over to 30, over to 40, and taken down at the 41-yard line by Connor Ross. And we've got some flags flying. The Eisenhower players are clapping. So we'll check the flag, a little extracurricular. Of course, the returner is going to have to go back and be told he got brought down by the kicker, which they never want to hear. So we'll check the flag. It's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike against both teams. So the penalties will offset. It will be 1st and 10 Eisenhower on their own 44-yard lines.
Keep your composure.
Yep.
Play football. Play defense.
Yes. Don't be goaded into anything. The play's over. Get back to your huddle. So here we go. Once they get the football straightened out.
Division I score, Brighton 34, East Kentwood 12.
That would be huge too.
Cass Tech 24, Dearborn Fortson 21 in the third.
Twins this side, single wide left. Rastigue back, got pressure, down he goes.
That's the pressure they need. Katie and Thede. That's the pressure they need going into the fourth quarter. Just flat out bull rush. They set up number 59 outside. Number 59, Luke Devereaux, their right tackle, set him up outside, came inside, and Rastigue wasn't able to step up. He stepped up right into Dragon pressure to go down for a big 10-yard loss.
That's the end of the third quarter. We go to the fourth. Utica Eisenhower 27, Lake Orion 17. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different players and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a person become a more well-rounded athlete. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. We go to the fourth, the crowd trying to urge on the Dragons. Eisenhower is facing 2nd down and 20 from their own 34. Rastigue drops, steps up, got pressure, down he goes.
Back for more. Number 36.
Joe Thede again. So, the Dragon defense makes its presence known. 3rd down and 25 from the 29.
Keep everything in front of you. Force them to have to punt the ball. Win the field position battle.
The Dragon safeties are set up right around the 40-yard line, which would be 4 yards short of a 1st down. Rastigue back, sets up a screen, overthrows a receiver, it'll be 4th down. That's one of the few misfires we've seen Rastigue have tonight.
Yeah, he tried that little screen earlier, and Katie picked it off. Interception. That was thrown incomplete. He probably had visions of Katie maybe being there from last time. Great defensive stand for the Dragons. Now let's take advantage of the field position right here.
Rastigue will punt. Mitch Howell sets up at the 42-yard line. High punt. Howell calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 42-yard line. The crowd getting back into it. The Dragons have it 1st and 10 with 11:01 to go. Down 10.
Plenty of time left.
I'd do a read, but the Dragons are coming out, so we'll save it.
How about that read ending with touchdown Lake Orion?
I'd like nothing better. Starrick, split wide right. Van Heck in a slot right. Howell Coming around, Manzo on the carry gets 5. It'll be second down.
Final score, West Bloomfield 35, Plymouth nothing.
Yeah. They're calling it 2nd and 6. Double wide, double slot for the Dragons. Howell this side. Blaze up the middle. He's going to be a couple yards short. They're marking him down on the 49 of Lake Orion. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Well, this is when you got to convert. Keep the drive going.
Yeah, regardless, this is 4-down territory, in my opinion.
Let's get one to Sam. He hasn't been heard from tonight. Or give it to Kobe. Breaks a couple tackles into Eisenhower territory, and Kobe's down. Gave that last extra push to get over the 45-yard line, down to the 43. And we'll take a pause while they attend to Kobe and remind you that the second half page of the MHSAA website gets you closer to the action with features on high school sports from around the state, weekly Coaches Association rankings, and coverage of MHSAA tournament finals. It's a great read with fresh content nearly every weekday during the school year. Make the MHSAA's second half your first stop for high school sports information. And as Chris, as vital as Kobe has been all season, it's next man up. It goes on Marlon Robinson's shoulders now.
That's the nature of the game of football. You're
Yeah.
right, at any level. And so obviously we hope Kobe's okay. They're tending to him quite a bit. He looks like he's getting up right now.
Yeah.
It's a great sign. But he's such a physical kid.
Yeah.
He's so strong.
He'll be back in. I can't tell what part of him they were working
You know,
on.
and here's the thing, too. I don't care who you are. It hurts a lot more when it's 20-some-odd degrees out, too.
It does. No question. Trips to the left, single wide right. Blaze fakes the toss. He's going for a yard loss back to the 44. It'll be 2nd and 11 as we pass the 9:45 mark.
This is key, though, for Lake Orion with Manzo out. What are they going to do? Who are they going to go to help move the ball?
Motion this side's Van Heck. Blaze on the keeper around left end. He's got a first down and down to near the 30-yard line. Great play fakes by Blaze Lauer.
Not a bad option to go to. Number 2, your second leading rusher of on the season. Your quarterback, your senior leader.
They're going to call him out of bounds at the 36. So that'll make it 3rd down and 1. Alwyn Muzan checks in at a fullback position, and number 40's back in there. Falls forward, got a first down near the 30-yard line. Kobe Manzo took on the tackler head on, spun to his right, and gained 3 more yards.
When we talk about tackling, we talk about cleats in the ground, cleats in the ground,
Yeah.
cleats in the ground. Stay on your feet. He is a prime example of somebody who keeps his cleats in the ground, Manzo.
Mitch Howell
Running
trying
the
to cut it
football.
out.
I'm sorry, Doug.
That's all right.
I mean, the ability for him to lean forward, as we've talked about, but keep those feet churning. How many extra yards has he gotten after contact?
Exactly. Mitch gets 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Trips to the left. Blaze rolling right. He's going to keep it and steps out of bounds near the 25. think they'll call him out on the 26. So it should be 3rd and 5. They're calling a ball down on the 27. Twins, double wide, double slot. Cade Manzo goes in motion. Blaze rolling. Getting chased. Trying to cut it upfield. And still on his feet and down at the 40-yard line. It looked almost like one of the Eisenhower defenders got away with a little horse collar on him, but he did not go down.
Again, that horizontal speed that you see out of Eisenhower, containing and forcing Lauer to not be able to turn his shoulders, has been a difference in tonight's game.
So 4th and 19, the Dragons go for it, and the ball's incomplete short. Intended for Mitch DeBrincat. So Eisenhower will take over with 8:11 to go. 1st and 10 on their own 40. And that time he threw into double coverage and the ball was short.
Trying to make something happen though, you know?
Yeah,
trying to make something happen. And yeah, it was thrown short. Lake Orion defense is going to have to step up one more time.
1st and 10 for Eisenhower. They have twins right, single wide left. Throw caught. Radigue to Sadalski for 8. It'll be 2nd and 2.
I am surprised. I mean, they've been very successful in the air, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I am surprised they're not keeping the ball on the ground to run some clock.
Yes.
Granted, they're throwing nice, short, easy, fairly easily completed passes, but the clock's in their favor now, and I'm sure they're going to want to run it.
Twins
Maximize
right.
the 40% clock.
Twins right, single wide left. And they are content to run the 40-second clock down every play. And there's a handoff to Gatow. He's trapped for a yard loss. It'll be 3rd down and 3. As we approach the 7-minute mark. 2 wideouts. Gatow is the lone setback behind Rastigue. And they're gonna snap it with about 5 left on the 40-second clock. And now they're gonna take a timeout.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's their last one.
That's their last timeout. So keep up with everything MHSAA on social media, as Chris is doing right now. Look them up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for tournament updates, event announcements, video highlights, and high school sports news from around the state. It's the best way to connect with the MHSAA every day.
A couple scores OAA. We've got UAD Jesuit 11, Farmington 10, a final.
Wow.
Macomb Dakota 28. This is not OAA, but Division I. 28, Sterling Heights Stevenson 25. Cass Tech 31, Dearborn Fortson 21, Division I. Davison 28, Lapeer 14, fourth quarter.
Okay.
Seaholm 35, Groves 7, fourth quarter.
So a tight formation on 3rd and 3. Rastigue runs into his blocker and he's going to get dropped.
If he doesn't run into his offensive lineman. He gets that first down, but because he did run into him,
Yeah.
Katie was able to track him from behind for no gain or even a yard loss.
He ran into Micah Maury, number 74, and you're right, Chris, that held him up from being able to get some speed built up, and they're going to punt on 4th and 4. Mitch Howell goes back to about the 25-yard line.
Stay home. Do not jump off sides.
Yeah, it's 4th and 4. Ball's on the ground. Kick goes straight up in the air. It looked like Eisenhower jumped.
There is a flag on the far side of the field.
There is.
If you're Lake Orion, take that ball from where you get it.
Yeah. The ball was snapped, and I don't think Rastigue was quite expecting it yet.
The play clock was running down. I think that's why it was snapped.
Yeah. Illegal shift is declined. 1st and 10 for Lake Orion from, I didn't see where the ball was spotted.
It's a 44-yard line.
The 44-yard line of Lake Orion. 5:38 to go. Dragons down by 10.
4 punts this half by Ike. Lake Orion defense is doing their job.
Yeah. Double wide, double slot. Motion this side. Manzo up the middle. Got a first down into Eisenhower territory. At the 45. Clock stops while they reset the chains. Ball's marked on the 44. Trips right, single wide left. Blaze fakes the toss back. He's brought down about the 42. It'll be 2nd down. Devereaux on the tackle for Eisenhower. 2nd and 8 at the 5-minute mark. Van Heck in motion. Blaze. Van Heck got the ball somehow. He faked to Manzo. Van Heck was in motion and just kind of tossed it back to Drew, who took it down to the 37. 3rd and 3. Trips right. Blaze looks. Ball was batted.
That's a live ball. No, they're calling it incomplete.
Intended for Mitch Howell, but I think Blaze's arm was hit as he threw, and you're right, that was very close to being a backward pass. The line judge was right on top of the play. So 4th and 3. Blaze looking to run. He's not going to get there. And again, we talked about coverage sacks. Number 1, he just didn't have the time. Number 98, Gene Husky, in on the stop. So Eisenhower will take over. 4:24 to go. 1st and 10 from their own 38. Up 10.
The last 2 drives, Lake Orion turnover on downs with decent field position, starting at the minus 42, their own 42, and starting at the their own 44. Just haven't been able to convert.
And, we said give credit to Eisenhower's offensive line. Their defense has played pretty good tonight, too.
Absolutely.
So Twins left, single wide right. Toss back to Gitau. Ball's loose.
Is that the 4th turnover? It is.
Dragons have the ball inside the 40 of Eisenhower. We have a Dragon player down.
Guitar cuts back after the option pitch. Cuts back inside. And is it Ari Curtis? It's Curtis and who else? Couldn't quite tell. Popped that ball right out. Recovered by...
Somebody in green, that's all that matters.
recovered by James McCoy.
Oh, yeah, Jim McCoy. Trying to see who the down player is. I don't see James McCoy on the, no, he's on the sideline. I'm not sure just who is down.
Ike turnovers tonight. 4. Yet they're still up by 10.
Yeah.
I mean, that just the game of
football to happen that way.
No, it's not.
No. How they check out the injured player will tell you that more high school games than ever before can be seen live every week on the MHSAA TV website. The school broadcast program continues to grow with more and more schools using the NFHS Network's automated production solution, Pixelot, to show games, and during postseason tournaments, over 700 hours of championship action will be available this year. Check it out at MHSAA TV.
I would have loved to have had a school broadcast program when I was in school.
You and me both. It's Ari Curtis was a down player, and he's holding his right arm rather gingerly as he comes off the field. Yeah, I had planned as a youth going into broadcasting and just couldn't find any avenue to work on it. And what they have now in high school. So first 10 double wide, double slot. Manzo's the running. Blaze rolling right, looking. He's going to tuck and go. Gets down near the 35. It'll be second down. Trying to see what's going on with Ari. He looks like he's in a lot of discomfort. Sideline. I couldn't tell if it was an arm or a shoulder. So second down. Blaze back, looks, throws, got Howell, got an opening. Down near or inside the 30. Down to about the 27.
Very, very, very late flag.
Was that a flag, or were they throwing a ball back and forth?
No, there's a flag, and they're meeting at about the 28-yard line. Alex Gelja, helmet, it came off. Then right after that, penalty marker was thrown.
Let's see what they call.
Yeah, they're going to wave it off.
They're waving it off. So the Dragons will have it. It will be third down and about a half a yard. Twins rights. Motion this side. Manzo up the middle. Got a first down and a lot more. Inside the 20. Down to the 17.
Find a way, Dragons. Find a way.
Dragons are not going to go down easily. Double wide, double slot. Manzo on a draw, tried to leap one defender, number 34, Al. Dragons going hurry up, double wide, double slot. Blaze drops, looks, throws. Got a receiver down near the 5. Sam Starek, who we hadn't heard much of tonight, gets a first and goal for the Dragons. Dragons stay in double wide, double slate. Rolling left. End zone. tipped away by number 7, Jack Whitwer. It'll be second and goal from the 8. 3:05 to go.
Trying to find Mitch Howell in the back of the end zone.
Trips right. Howell and Van Heck in slots. Drew throws to Starek. Inside the 5 to the 3 and can't get in.
Might want to consider using a timeout here just to figure out.
A tight double wide formation. Toss back to Van Heck, trying to get a block, and he won't get it. He'll be run out at the 5. So, in goal,
So
they're still calling it the 4.
So here's what you got to decide. Do you need the points? You need a field goal. Do you kick the field goal, or do you get to go for the touchdown?
And that's what they're going to go for right now. They're going for the field goal and take a chance with an onside kick. 2:35 to go.
The great thing is you've got 3 timeouts. Eisenhower has none.
Yes. And an Eisenhower player jumped. It's going to be encroachment. It'll be half the distance. So that'll move it to the 2.
Does that change your decision if you're Lake Orion?
It does. Here comes the offense. Let out by Henry Bilecki, who can't wait to go hit someone. And now the Dragons are going to take a timeout to talk it over. We can hear the Eisenhower, and they've said they're going to kick a field goal. They're going for it. I don't think they know what we're going to do, and that's good.
Cass Tech 31, Dearborn Fortson 28 in the fourth quarter. Dakota 35, Sterling Heights Stevenson 32 fourth quarter. Seaholm final 42-7 over Groves.
Wow.
Still Davidson 35, Lapeer 21. The winner of this game will play the winner of Davidson Lapeer. Belleville Division I game 64, Woodhaven 14.
You know, that's not supposed to happen in the second round of the playoffs.
It's happening.
But Belleville and Woodhaven were 2 undefeated teams coming into them. And they said that there were 2 entirely different offenses. One was a ground and pound, and Belleville can put it better.
A lot of Division I athletes on that program.
So they're going to go with the field goal. Connor has it teed up on the 11. Mitch Howell. Now they're going to move it in a couple yards.
Yeah, it should be at the 2. They had initially marked at the 4.
So it's marked at the 9. Howell's holding. Isaac Kinney will snap it back. Started a 25-second clock yet. Now they do. Ball's down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 2:32 to go. The Dragons close the gap to within 7.
So this second half, Ike is starting their first drive, touchdown, 12-yard touchdown pass to West. After that, punt, 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 fumble. Lake Orion takes over. Lake Orion, after that first drive, has really stepped up defensively. They're going to have to do the same right here. They've got 2 timeouts left.
The hands team is out for the Dragons. Lario Marcoux, Caden Beck, Cade Manzo, Luke Spencer, Sam Stark, Isaac Kinney, Kobe Manzo, and the hands team is out for Eisenhower. Ian West is out there. It's just a matter which way this ball's going to go. Usually he will try to kick it to his right. Big bounce. Didn't go yard. Fly. And we have another Dragon player down. It looks like Sam Starek is down right near midfield. I didn't see what for the onside kick. Usually they will pick one player on the receiving team, knock out someone coming over from the kicking team, and say it looks like, I think it's number 13.
It is, yes.
Yeah. You know, we talked a lot tonight about people becoming officials. One thing, and women, is when there's an injury, they clear it out and they tell the trainer, you time as you need.
Absolutely.
And they do a wonderful job.
Player health and safety.
Yep.
Number one priority out there with these kids, these student athletes.
So Eisenhower has the ball 1st and 10 from the Lake Orion 49, a full house backfield. Handoff given to Ian West, and Joe Cady and Joe Thede were there to stop him for a 1-yard loss. And I got to give my broadcast partner a lot of credit tonight for bringing a heater up in this press box.
Feels good up here, huh?
It's downright balmy up here. So it is 2nd and 11 from midfield. The Dragons have taken a timeout. And that's what Eisenhower is doing. They are in no hurry. They don't gain yardage or not. They're just there to run the clock out.
But what Lake Orion can't do is can't. They give up a first down. It'll be very tough to get the ball back.
Yes.
So they've got to stop them on this particular series. Get the ball, force a punt, get the ball back.
2nd and 11. Twins right, single wide left. Looks, throws, complete. Got it down. Complete to Steve Nadolski.
Now they're going to use the timeout now. Play. That one hurt.
That hurt. We are at 2:15 to go. And they're content to let the clock run, let the play clock run. Single or twins this side. Toss back to Gatow. He's inside the 25 down to the 24. And Lake Orion will take their last timeout with 1:44 to go. So a first down by Eisenhower is going to seal it.
It is, but they can't quite run out the clock here just by kneeling it.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Well,
No.
not quite. It will take you down to, if I do the math, take you down to somewhere in the 20-second range if you're able to do that with no timeouts left. Scoreboard for some reason says Eisenhower has 3 timeouts left. That's not true.
That is not true. So we are at 27-20 Eisenhower. A minute 44 to go. Eisenhower has the ball with a 2nd down and 5 from the Lake Orion 34.
Got to gang tackle and try to strip that ball.
Twins right, single wide left. First down to Gatau, and that's going to do it. 79 seconds to go. They set the chains and start the clock. 30 seconds on the play clock. And all they got to do is take a knee. Regardless of the outcome of this game, Chris, we cannot give this Dragon team enough credit for what we saw this year. They played above and beyond anyone's expectations.
Probably above and beyond anybody. There's a team of a coaching staff and a bunch of seniors that were terrific leaders this year. And we've talked about it all year long. The maturation and the growth of them over the past couple of years has been fun to watch. And it was a fun season, an enjoyable season. Unfortunately, it has to end right here. But kudos to the Dragon program, the coaching staff led by head coach John Black. I know I enjoyed sitting with you up here on these Friday nights, enjoying watching Dragon football.
So we count down the last 25 seconds. Utica Eisenhower will play Davison next week. And the Lake Orion Dragons cap a 9-2 season here in 2019. On the short end, 27-20. Regardless, it has been such a great season. Hey, Dragon football is back in town. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on the MHSAA Network, Orion Neighborhood Television, and Dragon Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
You'd do anything to take care of that spot on your lawn. So why not take care of that spot on your skin? If you're a man over 50, you're in the group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the cancer that kills 1 person every hour. Check your skin for suspicious or changing spots. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out what to look for. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Down here on the field after the Dragons season comes to an end, 27-20 to the Utica Eisenhower Eagles. And Chris, yeah, the season's over tonight, but this season was anything but a failure for this team this year.
No, they played well. It was a fun team to watch, led by a wonderful group of seniors, offensively and defensively. I mean, they played well on both. They racked up a ton of points. They put up a number of yards. They played well on defense. A combination of all those things. And it's always sad no matter who you are, no matter what part of the program you are, whether you're a coach, whether you're a player, whether you're a trainer, whether you're an athletic director, whether you're a parent, it's always sad to have to end the game, especially at home, end your season. And for some of these kids, a lot of these kids end their careers playing this great game of football. Again, as we said in the game, the finality of high school sports for a lot of these kids, it makes it that much more difficult to overcome. But to your point, the season was a fun season to be a part of, and when they are able to remove themselves a little bit from the game itself, they're going to step back and say, you know what, this was an enjoyable year, it was a fun year, and guess what, we've got a ton of memories that we're going to be able to go back on 10, 20 years down the road that we can remember well.
This group of seniors, now watch a couple walking around, Connor Ross, Isaac Kinney, this group that has been here, some of them for 3 years, Blaze Lauer for 3 years plus, Kobe Manzo's been a 3-year starter, Drew Van Heck's a 3-year starter. You know, these guys we keep talking, you make your mark here. You know, when they talk about the great teams, they'll talk about the 2019 team. And I say, years from now, when someone mentions the 2019 team, you were part of that, and it's a thing to take as a measure of pride the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, you go 9-2 and you lose to a really good Utica Eisenhower team, and oh, by the way, you at home lost to a team that's still playing and won 35-0 tonight in West Bloomfield. You lost to them in 4 overtimes, and so it's not like you've lost to some teams that you should have beat. You had chances in both those games to do that, and unfortunately you didn't. And that's what the good teams will do. They'll find ways to overcome those adversities within the game, and unfortunately for Lake Orion tonight, that just wasn't the case.
Yeah. And again, to give Utica Eisenhower all the credit in the world, they played their game tonight. They
did, and they did it in spite of giving up 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Lake Orion, it's the 4 turnovers that they couldn't quite overcome and put points on the board. And so, yeah, congratulations to Utica Eisenhower. They're going to play Davison next week at, I think, Utica Eisenhower, because they had more playoff points, yes.
It should be at Eisenhower. The players are still mingling around. One of the things that's so hard to do after your last game is to walk off the football field or the baseball field or the basketball court, what have you, looking ahead to next year. We expect a quarterback competition between Don Bruno, who is up on the varsity this year, and Kyler Carson, who was the JV quarterback, who was up here, got a taste of practice, and they really think he's going to be the real deal. There's going to be a competition next year at quarterback.
Yeah, and the competition probably in a lot of other positions as well. And then, you know, there's a lot of kids that are going to be playing winter sports and obviously spring sports, but the development of a program ultimately starts in the weight room. It starts with speed training in the off season, in the weight room, playing other sports, competing in other sports, like we talked about during the game, the multi-sport participation. Yes. That's so vital to a growth of a football team, an athletic department, and so on. So it's going to take some time for them to get over this loss tonight, but again, I know Coach Blackstock in due time will get them working again in the weight rooms, getting involved in some off-season training, and doing some things that keep them involved in the game and competing with each other.
I think what he realizes is, and I know Coach Blackstock realizes, and we all realized, is that time from the end of the last game to the start of camp really goes by in a hurry.
It does, and you might not think it right now, but before you know it, I mean, who would have thought that we're already 12 weeks into the high school football season? It just seems like we're up there for the first time a week ago, it seems. But it's not. It goes by fast, and you know, the blood, the sweat, the tears that they're going to be experiencing after tonight's game, it's tough. It's very tough. I can't get over the game that I lost 30 some odd years ago, my senior year, you know, and so it's tough. It sticks with you, but it's these bonds that you see out here. The kids, the seniors hugging, the kids hugging their parents. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Sure.
That's what high school sports is all about, and these are the things that they're going to remember.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get Coach Blackstock over here. We talked about it, but obviously it's an emotional time, not only for him and for the players. So we will wrap it up here. This is our last broadcast after 10 years together. 11 years together. And with us again this year, our producer, director, Joey Tysick, did an outstanding job in the truck. Joe Johnson, standing here on the sidelines with us, braved the cold, took a week off to go to Hollywood for a while and let Tessa take over, but he's back on the sidelines. Our ONTV crew, the camera people, stand up top of the stadium on a night like tonight where it's 23 degrees. Those guys are up there. And the cooperation we got from Athletic Director Chris Bell, Coach Blackstock, all the players we had during the season, can't thank you enough. Partner, I can't thank you enough. And that'll wrap it up from the field. Our final score, Utica Eisenhower 27, the Lake Orion Dragons 20. For my broadcast partner, Chris Frisching, I'm Doug Corliss. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.